and a warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global TV AM News in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. President Bola Tinubu will be launching the Renewed Hope Police Town Hall meeting on Monday in Lagos in a bid towards strengthening community policing and for Nigerians to key into the Renewed Hope Police agenda of his administration. Announcing these on Thursday in Abuja, Minister of State Police Affairs Imam Suleiman Ibrahim stated that she would be engaging stakeholders on Monday in Lagos. She added that the town hall meetings would be held not only in Lagos but across the country to afford Nigerians the opportunity to air their views on issues surrounding the security of lives and property in accordance with global best practices. Vice President Kashim Shettima says the federal government is set to rebuild Tudumbiri village in Igabi local government area of Kaduna State, which was hit by a misfire from drones belonging to the Nigerian military. Vice President disclosed these after visiting the victims of the drone misfire at the Baru Diko Teaching Hospital in Kaduna State, where some of the casualties, most of whom are women and children, are receiving treatment. Kikelomo Okere has details.
According to the Vice President Shettima, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has directed that the Polako initiative should be kickstarted in Kaduna State with a complete package including houses, clinics, schools, veteran clinics, empowerment initiative and solar energy among others in Tudumbiri community as a way of compensation for the destruction caused by the drone misfire. He however directed the management of the National Emergency Management Agency to mobilize and provide adequate support to the victim of the tragedy in Tudumbiri village.
With the people and government of Kaduna State, especially the inhabitants of Tudumbiri who were affected by the unfortunate incident a couple of days ago. We will complement the efforts of the Right Honorable Speaker, but ours is a complete package as well, including houses, clinics, schools, veterinary clinics, empowerment initiatives, solar energy. It's a complete package of solutions. It's a non-kinetic response to the problems of banditry and kidnapping in the Northwest.
The Vice President, who spoke at the meeting with the leaders and other stakeholders of the community, noted that President Tinubu is worried about the tragic incident, adding that the Polako initiative is the President's unique response as a non-kinetic approach to the challenges in the Northwest.
The President approved the commencement of the Polako initiative by next month. The Polako initiative is the President's unique response as a non-kinetic solution to the challenges in the Northwest. Beneficiary states are Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, Katsina, Kaduna, and for the purpose of equity and justice, we deliberately included Niger and Benue State.
The Vice President noted that investigation is being conducted to prevent reoccurrence of the incident, and the report is expected to be submitted in the shortest possible time. Kikelomo Okere, Global Television News.
The Sultan of Sokoto, Dr. Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, has demanded justice for the victims of the military airstrikes that killed over 100 people in Tudumbiri village in Igabi local government area of Kaduna State. He made this known at the silver anniversary of the 11th Emir of Jama'ah, Alhaji Dr. Muhammad Isa Muhammad, CON, on the throne at the Emir's Palace in Kafanchan, Kaduna on Friday. Noting that amidst celebration of the Emir, they were gathered to also pray for the lives of those killed in Kaduna State, emphasizing the need to push for it until justice is served to the people. In his response, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, described what happened in Kaduna as highly regrettable, owing to the fact that the duty of the military is to protect the citizens, while assuring the people that serious actions will be taken to prevent reoccurrences, adding that the President has ordered a thorough investigation on the matter. The House of Representatives Committee on Appropriations, chaired by Representative Abubakar Bichi, on Monday resumed interactive session with GOEs over the 2024 Declaration of Revenue Target, insisting projected revenues is not enough for the country. He attributed rising inflation to a major problem, hence the need for GOEs to appear before the committee for further interaction. Bichi noted that reducing the burden of Nigeria's debt profile, sectoral budgetary allocations, and the dynamics of budget releases, economic diversification strategies, revenue generation forecast is needed to facilitate the enactment of the bill and effective implementation of the Appropriations Act 2024. To this end, the committee chairman summoned government-owned enterprises to include the Minister of Finance, FIRS, NUPRC, NCC, CG Customs, NMPC, MPA, NIMASA, Minister of State for Petroleum, the CBN Governor, among others, to appear in person on Monday, 10 a.m. prompt. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has said President Bola Tinubu's administration will continue to take hard decisions to make things work in the FCT and entire Nigeria. Wike said that the projects he is embarking on in the FCT were born out of hard decisions taken by his administration to deliver on the presidential mandate. The minister made this known in Abuja during the official flag-off of the second phase of resurfacing and remedial works on some roads within High-Bro Asokoro district. He said Tinubu's administration has good plans for Nigerians, but hard decisions must be taken to actualize it through the Renewed Hope agenda. The Nigerian Senate's Committee on Labor and Productivity, led by Senator Dickett Plank, has taken steps on to augment the 2024 budget of the Labor Ministry, aligning it with the ministry proposed allocation of 13 billion naira. This action was prompted by a motion raised by Senator Tahir Munguno during the committee's meeting with the Minister of Labor and Employment, Simon Lalong, the Minister of State, Honorable Nkiruka Onyejocha, and other ministry members at the National Assembly Complex in Abuja. Sarah Akbar has the details.
Senator Munguno emphasized the committee's authority in appropriation, asserting that they possess the power to adjust the budget as necessary.
This budget as presented by the executive is not sacrosanct. It's subject to tinkering by the legislature. So as such, we have all the powers of appropriation. This is very clear and unequivocal in the Constitution. The power of appropriation lies with the National Assembly. So if in our wisdom and in the wisdom of our appropriation committee and the leadership, that the allocation that is made given to the Ministry of Labor and Productivity is grossly inadequate, we have all the powers to tinker it and increase it in tandem with the Renewed Hope agenda of Mr. President.
This committee, that what has been submitted, what has been estimated, or the
Razak Obey, he wrote to the State Deputy Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa, calling the attention of the latter to the development. In the letter, Obey noted that after his discovery, the forensic expert had confirmed that the governor's signature was forged. Recall that a senior advocate of Nigeria, Kayode Ajulo, alleged that some officials in the administration, Deputy Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa, cannot take over from the governor since power has not been transferred to him constitutionally, making him that some of the commissioners, about 5 of them, sent memos to the governor and they all returned with approval. The federal government has announced plans to shut down public buildings that do not comply with the minimum standard of accessibility for persons with disabilities from January 17. The Executive Secretary, National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, James Lalu, disclosed this while briefing newsmen in Abuja. Lalu said the commission would swing into action immediately after the expiration of the 5-year ultimatum given to organizations by the federal government, which is expected to elapse on January 16, 2024. He said the commission would engage all relevant stakeholders to constitute a special task force to ensure the implementation of the accessibility law. The NCPWD boss also said the commission will ensure that organizations not only comply with their accessibility requirements, but the 5% employment opportunities for persons with disabilities. The World Health Organization on Friday said antimicrobial resistance may lead to 10 million deaths by 2050 if urgent actions are not taken to reduce its burden. The WHO also expressed worry over the increasing use of antimicrobial medicines, saying the total global antibiotic consumption in humans and animals and agriculture increased by 30% between 2000 and 2010. It declared that the AMR is one of the top 10 global public health threats for facing humanity. The technical officer of AMR at the WHO Nigeria office, Dr. Lasmit Kant Shavan, said this at the 7th annual conference of the Association of Nigerian Health Journalists in collaboration with the World Health Organization in Nasarawa State. The federal government has announced the immediate enforcement of the Disability Rights Act starting in January. Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Dr. Betta Edu, made this known while addressing journalists on World Disability Day in Abuja. She says the act, in an effort to protect the rights and improve the lives of people living with disabilities in Nigeria. Fauzat Lukman has the rest of the story.
The Disability Rights Act was passed by the National Assembly in January 2019 after several years of advocacy by disability rights activists. However, the legislation has not been fully enforced until now. The Minister of Humanitarian of the Disability Act is a deliberate collection of data of persons with disability, and that the Act covers a wide array of rights, including the prohibition of discrimination against persons with disability in various sectors such as education, employment, healthcare, and public transportation. However, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation further called on speakers at the State House of Assembly to domesticate the Act.
The Disability Act has made provisions to prohibit all forms of discrimination, marginalization, and abuse of persons with disability. The government is already putting in place mechanisms to establish an access to work scheme for persons with disability. We are challenging all the speakers and the state houses of assembly to quickly swing into action, working with the executive to domesticate this act.
Executive Secretary, National Commissions for Persons with Disability, NCPWD, explained that the act is aimed at eradicating discrimination and ensure equal opportunities for every citizen, irrespective of their physical or mental abilities, adding that the Commission is transiting from the era of advocacy to the era of enforcement.
If you approve a building without following the code, you can be imprisoned for that. All persons with disability must be insured with the NHIS. We're looking at the bill to set up a deaf university.
The House Committee Chairman on Disability, Honorable Bashir Daudu, shed light on sanctions on the
disability to move out in full force to make sure that compose the task force immediately before this Christmas. Everything will be on ground before the roundup of this year, so that as we come early next year, the task force will be inaugurated. Immediately after inaugurating the task force, immediately by the time on the 16th of January 2024, our assessment may not only end on the physical facilities, but the composition of the staff in these institutions. We want to know the total number of the staff in these institutions and then the maintenance of the 5% in these institutions. So we have to find out all of this so that we can be able to roll out the provision of the law.
It is expected that the Enforcement Act passed into law will enhance the inclusion and accessibility of persons living with disability in Nigeria. Fauziya Lukman, Global TV News.
A bid to eradicate the form of injustice in the judicial system on individuals detained and further go on trial without having access to lawyers, the federal government, in partnership with Legal Stake System, Sharon Ajay completes the story.
The chairman, Police Service Commission, Solomon Arase, says the natural right with enhancement of fundamental human rights of individuals, unless otherwise proven, should be duly respected. He emphasized on the need to push the scheme forward as part of its aim for the voiceless to be heard, decongesting the police cells of innocent people.
In view of the rising incidents and complaints from the public bordering on infringements of people's human rights by the Nigerian police force, the introduction of the PDS in response to the imperative outlined in the Administrative or Criminal Justice, which the Attorney General just alluded to, was a watershed moment in our commitment to safeguarding the rights of individuals in police custody. Historically, to provide free legal services to detainees across Nigeria, ensuring that their rights are not only protected on paper, but upheld.
By Director Solicitor Department Gladys Odugbaru, in a speech, urges all states to domesticate the scheme for full benefit of innocent prisoners and the government.
The scheme also comes with the advantage of preventing undue congestion of inmates in correctional facilities, with the consequential benefits of saving government the resources required to maintain a large population of inmates or detainees. I therefore enjoin all the states to domesticate the PDSS in order to extend the benefits of the scheme across the country and further deepen criminal justice reforms.
Based on the financial aid gotten by the federal government, the Director General Legal Aid has assured a successful operation of the scheme. Also added that the more the funds, the better the work.
But we can assure you that with the little that we have been able to be getting from the federal government in terms of our appropriation, in terms of statutory funding, we have been able to do as much as we can be able to do. But it is not to say that we cannot do more if we have more funding.
Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
The state government has announced 50 million naira reward for anybody who could provide information leading to the arrest of the killers of Taiwo Onyekomi, the former Director of Finance and Administration attached to Governor Dakpo Abiodun's office, Oke Musan Abiyokuta. Onyekomi, aged 51, was last Wednesday, November 29, killed by gunmen at the Kuto flyover bridge, Abiyokuta. The gunmen killed the Ifo-Itedo-born chartered accountant and made away with the huge cash. Governor Dakpo Abiodun, who said that the killing of the senior civil servant left his cabinet devastated and traumatized, promised not to leave any stone unturned until the killers are brought to justice. The Nigerian Navy Forward Operating Base for Moso has intercepted a fishing trawler and 14 crew members, including 2 Indians, for violating the Sea Fishery Act along the Bras coastline in Bayelsa State. The arrested trawler, MFV 7 Stars, and its 14 crew members have been handed over to the Federal Department of Fishery, while the 2 Indians were handed over to the Nigerian Immigration Service. Also, white substances found in the trawler was handed over to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Bayelsa State Command for further investigation. Speaking during the handover at the Forward Operating Base in Eguema Bras local government area, the commanding officer, Captain Mutala Aminu Rogo, disclosed that the trawler was arrested on November 29, 2023. He added that such maritime infractions would not be tolerated by the Navy, both on Nigerian waters and the Gulf of Guinea at large. According to him, preliminary investigation by the base revealed that the captain forcefully declared 12-member crew on board as against 14, while the additional 2 crew were discovered to be there illegally. The 2 Indians on board were also without their passports. You're watching Global AM News coming to you live from Nigeria's capital. We are on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us on our social media platform using as Global TV NG and other platforms now showing on your screen. And that's how we call it a wrap on the news. I am Anthony Momodu. Good morning.